good to see so many of you in the room this morning. Happy morning, Puja. Happy morning, Anuja, Annamika, Tenaz Modi, Rena, Anjana, Ruchi, Sonali, Priyanshu, Seema, K-Essentials, I'm guessing. Lots of energy in the room. Thank you. Yes, Priyanka, Amita. Super duper good morning. Reshma, Sikhani, Ami. Super hello. So nice. All right. So, what's been happening? Tell me. Are you all enjoying the Diwali season? Are you all working really hard? Being more feminine, spending time with friends and family, clutter cleaning your house? Or is it still work is going on full swing, no time for anything else, not able to prioritize, not being able to get consistent? What's happening in your life? I would love to hear. Let me tell you a little bit about my life. I took off on the 17th of October for 2 weeks from work. I'm actually someone who had delegated my house decoration to my mother-in-law, who very sweetly will get cushions for me, bed covers for me. Whenever she'll step out, she'll bring a vase, some flowers. So I said, you know what, I've been just using her in a nice manner she loves doing interiors, and I just had, left it. So this time, because both the boys are coming for Diwali, I said, you know what, I'm going to go back to being domestic goddess. Let me go pick up some new crockery and cutlery and cushions and everything. So every day I have been stepping out and going and looking for things for my house. And my God, the market is filled with things, I must say. So just enjoying myself. I love aesthetics and beauty of my environment. It really, increases my energy when, things are looking gorgeous around. I've been ordering fresh flowers. So I'd love to hear in the chat box, what all are you doing to make sure that your environment has that fresh energy of the festival season? Yeah. Love it, love it, love it. Also, we can start with the questions whenever you're ready. Saubana QMG, thank you, Ruchi. Diwali decluttering challenge is going on inside my community. That's fabulous. Yes. I like to throw away at least one item per day. This could be just a kajal pencil or a dried up nail polish or a torn piece of outfit or something that I know I need. I have been keeping it that I'll repair it and wear it or any of that, but doesn't happen. And then I say, okay, if in 30 days I do not dry clean it, repair it or whatever it needs to be done, then I don't have a choice but to get rid of it, because that means it's not important to me. Ritika saying, missing friends shifted to a new house. Oh, how sweet. I mean, congratulations on shifting to a new house. I guess it's going to be a transition to move from your old friendships to your new friendships. But you know what? Phone badi kamal ki cheez hai. So use the phone. Make sure you don't forget those who are there. And in the meantime, also start to make new friends. Sakshi, Diwali season not making me work out. So Sakshi, you know what? The other day I was speaking to someone and they said something very interesting. They said, I don't like to swim against the tide, which I think is also a lovely way to go about in life. To go with the flow of the energy of the world is something I do a lot. So I purposely will not put any sort of workout in the Diwali season. Workout will be my bonus. So if I'm able to work out this season, great. If I'm not able to work out, no punishment. But I'll be very serious about that. Yes, the day Diwali gets over, the very next day I get back to my routine as far as my physical exercise is concerned. So I'm going to request you to start to look at life more like, like a orchestra, where lots of instruments will play and create beautiful melody, but they don't need to play at the same time. So desire or whatever, rewrite your desires around what I want to achieve this month, and let not exercise and health be the number one priority for this month. This month it's more love and connection. Next month you can have exercise and health and better food or no sweets, so all of that keep it for next month if you can. I love to go with the flow energy of life, so I don't push myself too much this month. This is all about love and connection. My children are going to be coming, so I don't want to be like saying, oh, I'm on a diet or I won't eat this or I'm not gonna. So I think, like, what, everything has a time and space, and when we do things according to time and space, it's so much easier than starting to be rigid about something. Now, if you are someone who's extremely disciplined, enjoy it. Don't break it because I'm saying be easy. No. But if you are someone who struggles with discipline, then I'd love for you to start to look at giving every month a theme. That's what I do. I give 30 days. I like to live my life 30 days at a time. Some of you may be a part of Sisterverse. If you're a part of Sisterverse, give me a shout out in the chat box on how that is going for you. Where we meet every month, we decide a theme, we decide goals, we decide affirmations, we decide visualizations, we decide, there's a lot of written work we do together so that we are ready for the next 30 days. And we've literally every 30 days looked at a new theme and explored a new way for that month. And I just feel like it brings so much fresh energy to life when every 30 days you kind of go, okay, this month is going to be about, I'm dedicating it to just looking good. I'm going to do my skincare. I'm going to do shampoo. I'm going to go to the salon. I'm going to get my threading done. I'm going to get laser done. I'm going to, whatever it means for you, that I want to work on looking good. The following month could be, you know what, just building consistency. This month, for 30 days in a row, I'm not going to miss a single day of these 3 daily habits. So things like this really work out well. Do try. Puja, how to learn the technique to let go of something that's deeply rooted in the heart? Puja, one of the ways that I have realized how I get rid of things that are very deeply rooted is that I go spiritual on them. What do I mean by that? There are things that do not make sense to us on the earth plane on why someone would do that, right? But at a soul level, you can create whatever story you like. So let's say, for example, a friend of mine or my husband hurts me really bad about something that he shouldn't have done. I'm just taking anything, like he was not here for Karwa Chauth. I'm just taking anything. And maybe that hurt me. And of course, that's not deep rooted, but for someone, something can be very severe also. And so what I do is I ask myself, what is this going to teach me? Like what do I need to do? Every expectation of mine is teaching me how to handle the disappointments and become stronger and more independent. True or not? So then I start to ask myself, okay, if God had to choose this challenge in my life, what would be the lesson that if I learn the lesson from this? For example, I got married at 18, even though I was very studious and very interested in studying a lot, and studies was my thing. Actually, till today, I actually love learning more than even teaching. So I'm a full-on student. So why would God get me married at 18, who was someone so keen to study, right? Why would he do that? And then I have to give myself a story that when my soul was coming on earth, you know what? I said, you know what? I'm not going to waste any time on degrees or on things that are not going to be useful eventually. It seems that 76% of the world doesn't use their degrees. So that's why degrees, otherwise I have a lot of respect for degrees. Just saying that 76% of the world doesn't use their degrees. Rather, God will create situations for me where I will get so laser focused that whatever I study is what I will end up teaching. So I'm going to study, teach, and that's going to be my route of life, not study and then sit back. And for that to happen, God had to take away, because your voids eventually become your values. So whatever gets taken away from your life is something that you chase for the rest of your life, and that turns into your mission. So first, God has to create scarcity in your purpose so that you can chase it for the rest of your life to turn it into your mission or North Star or whatever you like to call it. Now that I've understood that, every challenge, I like to look at it at the level of why would someone be doing this? And when I don't get my answers at that level, I start to have the spiritual conversation on what is it that I need to learn from this big challenge. So ask yourself, Puji, what is it that I need to learn from this? What could be the challenge? What is it that I need to emerge from that someday I could look back at that incident and say, I am who I am today because of that incident. And I can tell you, I've had enough incidents of that kind, which are deep rooted in my heart, that I have taken and turned it around into making it a story so powerful. For example, one of my stories was that I didn't get education. Today, I call myself the most educated person in India, right? So like that, take your story of whatever that negative sentence you are telling yourself that, maybe it is that, I gave other people permission to hurt me. I was not able to set boundaries. Maybe I didn't train them on how to treat me. Or people conveniently took me for granted because I was a good human being, which doesn't mean you have to become a bad human being. It just means you need a lot more protection, because good human beings need to learn how to protect themselves, because they are the Kohinoors of the world, right? So like that, you can take anything that has happened to you. Maybe you got betrayed by someone, and maybe that's why you need to ask yourself, okay, what did this betrayal teach me? Did it teach me about the fact that, you know what, never again will I depend so much on a person that they should be able to have this level of control over my life? Yes, I will still get hurt about the betrayal, but what shouldn't happen is dash, 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 dash. And so every situation can be actually used to grow your own personality, because your challenges are actually revealing to you your own weaknesses. If they were not your weaknesses, they wouldn't be a challenge. You will easily be able to do it, right? So it's making you realize these are the aspects of your life. And I have a very simple rule in my life, which is I am willing to complain about it today, but I'm not willing to complain about it 2 years from now. Sometimes I'll meet ladies who'll be complaining about the same thing for 20 years. For 20 years they're saying, मेरी mother-in-law मुझे बिस्किट नहीं लेने देती, चाय के साथ वो लॉक कर देती है कबर्ड. Or I'm just giving you any random example, sorry for that, but like literally it could be for 20 years. Oh please, we are all human beings. Even a cow can feed a family of 4. Can we not take charge of whatever is creating suffering in our life? And when you take charge and you turn that whole situation into something because of which you did fabulously, then whenever you will look back at life, you will not look back at that incident as a regret. You will look back at that incident as a trigger to your, awesomeness. I'm planning a Diwali camp for kids. That's lovely. Vijay is asking, Vijit, I'm not going to be able to pronounce your name, but apologies in advance. How can you be empowered or in high energy even when we ask for help? While asking for help, we feel so low. You know what? I feel like when I'm asking for help, there's a dual thing that is happening, where not only I am needing this help, but also this person is getting an opportunity to feel better about themselves because of me. Now, if I have money to give and someone takes that money from me and is in extreme gratitude because of that, then my money has done me good, right? If I have wisdom to give, but you have received my wisdom with a lot of faith and surrender, that's not only done good to you, then it's also done good to me, because I've lived my mission because of you. So one of the things we have to always remember is that not just the giver not just the asker is low and the giver is high. Actually, in the giving is what the asker lands up giving is gratitude and joy. And can I tell you, the pleasure or happiness that comes from receiving gratitude and joy from someone is actually sometimes greater than any materialism, any materialistic thing. I would rather, if you gave me a choice between giving a sermon to 1,000 people, giving, or receiving a beautiful anything, diamond, okay, I'd rather give, because in giving is what brings so much more real joy, satisfying joy, long-lasting happiness than actually in taking. Would you agree? Imagine, but if there were no takers in the world, okay, then how would the world operate? How would it go about, like how would people feel happy about what they do, right? So I'm so glad that, people are takers. Now, the one thing a taker has to remember is keep the channel, the river flowing, which means if you are taking, you must also be giving. If you are taking and giving at all times, you will never feel low, because you'll understand this is how the world works. The operation of life is this, okay? If you want energy created, there has to be a negative and a positive ion, right? There has to be that energy of the opposites. The opposites is what makes world work. So if there has to be a buyer, there has to be a seller. There has to be a receiver, there has to be a giver. So all of that is right, and all of us are everything, not just one version, correct? So next time when you're asking someone for something, my suggestion is that, your energy should be, one, I'm asking, but I will give back 100 times more gratitude so that I fulfill this person with something very real. Gratitude is far more beautiful to receive than any money or anything materialistic, correct? So one is that be grateful to the people you're taking from. Then you're not down, then you're equal, okay? And secondly, make sure that you also keep giving whatever it is that you are either receiving or generating to someone, so that there is that energy flow of balance in your giving and taking. Right? I feel like success is a team sport, is something that I had heard somewhere, where there is nobody who becomes successful without asking. But you know, the more successful you become, the more you want to give back to society, give back to the world, because now you have so much more to give back. So you have to just trust the process, that while you're climbing up the staircase, maybe you'll take more than you will give, but eventually at some point in your life, you will give more than you take. And that's why I call this selfish to be selfless. For 2 years in my life, I remember turning a bit selfish and, you know, being someone who was in receiving energy, till a day came that I very easily could switch to giving energy because my pot was full. I remember one of my teachers, she used to say, if you keep pouring in this cup, at some point your cup will get full and you will overflow. And it's in the overflow that we give, right? So first fill your cup, Meri Jaan, and eventually just remember this, that when you are in overflow, not only sometimes the same person who gave to you may receive something very different from you, but will still receive nonetheless. And I want you to think of all the people who asked you for things, who you landed up giving, but in return they gave you gratitude. What is your energy and connection and feeling towards them? Then you will start to see this cycle of life of giving and taking is so beautiful. Asking and giving both are so beautiful, and that nothing is down or up but how we think of it. Dr. Fatima is asking, ma'am, I got married at 29, 3 years younger to my husband, but my mother-in-law says to my husband that I got married late. It hurts me when sometimes my husband says this directly or indirectly. How to deal with this, ma'am? So Fatima, one of the things I have realized in my life is that everyone has the right to their opinion, which may be right or wrong. Okay, what does that mean? If you were doing something useful with your life till the age of 29, or for whatever reason you know exactly why you have gotten married at 29, then I want you to accept that I have gotten married at 29 rather than fight it. You see, when we try to fight someone's opinion, we can fight facts. How do we fight opinions? In someone's opinion, 29 is young. In someone's opinion, 29 is old. In someone's opinion, 29 couldn't be a better perfect age, because you know what, 29 you get married, 30 you start planning your baby, by 32, 35 you have both your children. Oh my God, what a perfect way to live life. You got the 10 years of building your career also, and then you get the 10 years of being motherhood and wife also. It's all about perception. These are not facts. So can we allow other people to keep their opinion rather than getting hurt? Okay, so somebody looks at me today, will say, oh my God, so sad you got married at 18. I'm not going to change their opinion. I'm happy that it happened to me, because now I've made the best of it, right? So how many people do you want to fight? I think one of the wisest things we can do is actually choose our battles. Does this even matter? I'm pretty sure there are some real issues in your life that you can deal with, and treat these kind of sentences more like, you know what, they're trying to disrespect me, they're trying to be derogatory, I'm not going to let them achieve it. The minute someone finds out that you are sensitive to something, for example, when I didn't have a degree, every time I met someone who had masters or was studying, I used to get so jealous of them, right? So for me, it was like, okay, that is something that has a trigger in it. The minute someone else knows your trigger, now what you've done is you've taken your dhanush baan and given it to them and said, mere pe use kar lo. Okay, so people, you should not open yourself up to receiving people's opinion in a manner like as if it's a fact. You should receive it more like, okay, it's their opinion. How does it matter? It's none of my business to try to control every single person's opinion. Correct or no? Now, I'm a 5'4" girl. Am I short or am I tall? Some people think I'm very short. Some people think I'm an extremely tall girl. It's very hard to say because it's an opinion, correct? Are you understanding what I'm trying to make you do here? Do not fight these things. You think I'm tall? Thank you. You don't think I'm tall? There's nothing anyway I can do about it, so thank you. Okay, what you think doesn't matter to me. What I think matters to me. Correct or no? So see if you can use all of this, and from today onwards start to go, do I want to waste my life's energy changing the world's opinion, or do I want to build my life so beautifully that I become the style icon? Like, because I got married at 29, everybody wants to get married at 29 because I'm a role model. So do that instead. You know, in the beginning when I had started to take classes and everything, people used to say, Puja, you speak too fast. Puja, you use your hands too much. Puja, you don't do this. Puja, you do that. Today people go, oh, I want to be like Puja. All of those negative things about me actually now are the things I get complimented on. Oh, how are you able to think so quickly? How are you able to speak, you know, in such a fast pace without even taking a break? How are you able to... The same thing that used to be a minus became a positive, correct? So I want you to take this as a challenge, Fatima, that may the world, may you become so successful, so amazing, so awesome, so role model-y that someday people will say, when did Fatima get married? 29? Okay, I want to get married at 29 because Fatima got married at 29. Look how beautifully her life worked out. Hai na? Nice. Some of you are sharing all that you're doing this month. Very nice. Lot of decluttering is happening. Design your wings. Ma'am, my husband were using me for the money and उसके चक्कर में बहुत सारा लोन ले चुकी हूँ जो वो अब देने से मना कर रहा है और लोन मेरी इनकम से बहुत ज्यादा है. क्या करूँ समझ नहीं आ रहा. Oh, why did my this thing change? 1 second. Oh, too bright. This better? Okay. See, sweetheart, in a relationship, we trust. And when we trust and our trust gets broken, we have only a few options. One is to accept what has happened to us. One is to confront with the person on what has happened to us and look for a better solution. And one is to remove ourselves and say, I will never trust again. But for now, I don't have a choice. And those are, I want you to list out what are all your options. Try whichever one is the best that works for you, because you know what, you have put yourself in a position where you trusted. Unfortunately, your trust has been broken, correct or no? You thought your husband's going to be good, that he's actually using your name, but he will repay the loan, and him not repaying the loan now is hurting you so badly. So you need to sit down and see how can you reduce the damage that is getting done. Is he willing to pay you over a year if you land up paying for the loan? Do you have to live with this as a black mark on your credit system? What is the consequences of not repaying the loan? Are you with him or are you planning to leave him? You know, is he going to be able to build back the trust for the love to come back, or are you there for other reasons? These are all deep conversations that you're going to have to land up having, because in life, when we trust and our trust gets broken, it's never easy to gain that energy back, true or not? And because of that, what can land up happening is that we, stop trusting people. And that is one of the most dangerous things to happen, because the world works on trust, true or not? So I want you to be very careful that don't allow for this to damage, but next time you'll have to be a lot more careful, especially around money. Money is one topic where I've seen the closest of your people you can lose because of money as the energy, because somehow people tend to put money above relationships. People who put relationships above money have a beautiful, happy life. People who put money above relationships will have money but nothing else. Nidhi, how to ask for signs from the universe and not get confused when you get them? So Nidhi, the best thing to do is to, one, keep them a little vague. Okay, what do I mean by keep them a little vague? That when it feels like a sign, take it like a sign. Okay, so let's say I am asking, something recently happened. What was that I saw? think it was a yellow butterfly or something. I had recently said that, you know what, God, if I'm on track, just show me more yellow butterflies. And I'm not joking. Every book I was opening, a yellow butterfly was showing up. In a party, a yellow butterfly painting was there. Then I went and opened some magazine. There is a yellow, like, it was just like the yellow butterfly was like, so then what happens is you can literally tell the universe, send me enough signs for me to know this, to clear my confusion. Okay, so you can literally do that. So yesterday I had gone to the temple, and I do this a lot with God because I love having fun with Godji, and I saw somebody came in with a mala of murku mala, okay, to give to the Hanuman God. And in my head I'm thinking, if I get one murku to eat, I am going to feel like God listened to what I had to say today. And I've come back home. I've not even opened the thali or this thing because they gave us pongal in the end, and I'm eating that pongal. And when I've come back home, on the table, when they've taken out the prasad, there is coconut, which is the usual, the coconut, the banana, and there were 2 pieces of murku. And I'm just looking at that murku. I'm like, oh my God, at which point did the Panditji break the murku from the mala and put it in my basket? I have absolutely no idea. So you know what? It's sad. So I wasn't even expecting it. I had the thought, but I didn't even check the basket for the murku because I was like, how am I going to get the murku, Puja tera? So these are all internal intuitions that you're having, and then there is conversation, and then we are doubting, correct? So don't doubt, just surrender. The more you will surrender, the lesser your doubt will be. Okay? Reshma, Puja, I love my daughter-in-law. How sweet. I try to do all good to her because I don't want her to go through the bad which I went through. But even though she hates me, her mother is putting rubbish in her mind. So Reshma, one of the things you have to understand is that this particular relationship is not a direct relationship of yours with her, but a relationship through your son. So I'm going to suggest to you, shift your energy to making your son's life amazing rather than trying to make your daughter-in-law's life amazing. Which means support your son in every possible way so that he can support her, and he and she, if they are happy in a marriage, you as a mother-in-law should be happy. This is not a direct relationship to build. These are all lottery relationships. What do I mean by lottery relationships? जिनकी अच्छे उनकी lottery निकल आई, जिनकी नहीं तो lottery तो वैसे किसी की नहीं निकलती ज़्यादा. Correct? So leave the lottery relationships for the real relationships. Focus on the real relationships. Don't focus on the lottery relationships. Lottery relationships are for maintenance. You shouldn't let them fall under a certain bar. But real relationships is where you should be working really hard. So your husband, your children, your siblings, your parents, real relationships. In-laws, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, all lottery relationships. अच्छे निकले तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, अच्छे नहीं निकले तो ड्यूटी करो और आगे निकलो. Okay? So if you really love your daughter-in-law, instead start to focus on loving your son. That's a far better place to put your energy. Okay, let's go right to the bottom. Jyoti is asking, first, lots of love to you. My mother-in-law and daughter-in-law always interfere in all the decisions which we make. They want to take all the credit. They don't want us to grow, always want to control and dominate. My mother-in-law and daughter-in-law always interfere with all the decisions which we make. Okay. See, they're interfering, maybe their personality, but they can only interfere. They cannot actually make the decision for you. If they are making the decision for you, then you're actually not setting clearer boundaries. So I'd love for you to start to look at your life in a manner that people are allowed to give their opinion. People are not allowed to make decisions for you. Because if you let them make decisions, then they will take credit. So you'll have to see what is going wrong in this whole situation because it's not sounding right to me. There is something there more than what you've written, which means that either you're depending on them. How can they take credit for something if they haven't made the decision? And how come they are making decisions for you? Why is that happening? So is there a relationship with your spouse that you need to sit down and discuss and talk about? There is more to this story than what I'm reading. So I want you to go and examine it in more detail to see, how is my mother-in-law and daughter-in-law getting to decide for me? Okay, now after you decide that okay, they can't make decisions, one of the things you're going to have to do is get super comfortable with making mistakes. I would rather the decisions are yours and the mistakes are yours and the fixing of that is yours, than it becomes theirs and then you feel like you didn't even get to participate. Okay, so see how you can re-examine this whole situation and look at how can you take your own power back. And the way we take our power back is by building confidence in ourselves that good, bad, ugly, the decisions will be mine, the consequences to face will be mine. And when we are willing to face the consequences, then we don't depend on other people for any decision making. And then their interference remains an interference, not a control issue. Okay, they can't control because you're not giving them that power. Now, unless your money power is with your mother-in-law or your daughter-in-law, then they can interfere and control. So your job will be to make sure that you have your own money power, because without your own money power, other people will end up deciding a lot of your life. So the reason I love owning my own, having my own money, has nothing to do with greed or money by itself, but with the freedom of choice. Money gives you the freedom to choose where you want to go, who you want to live with, how you want to live. Every decision becomes yours. So I don't know what in this situation is the missing link. Is it the money is not there? Somebody else is deciding because your son is the only earning member? I don't know what's happening there, but something is not there. Sometimes we just don't stand up for ourselves because we want to buy peace. If you have been buying peace for too long, I'm going to highly recommend to you that in some things buy peace, because everything doesn't matter to us. But in some things go very strong on what you want and how you want it, because it actually matters. Yeah? Lovely. Hi, I'm a mom of Bhargavi Reddy. Yeah. I'm a mom for 20-month-old girl. I'm working in an IT industry and planning to leave my job and be a full-time mom as my guilt is eating me up. How will I find my purpose and build my identity? Bhargavi, your purpose and your identity for the next 5 years is your motherhood. One of the biggest, issues in this current world is that a woman has started to live the man's life. A man needs identity. A woman needs connection and community. Can I tell you, it's a far better life when a woman describes herself through all her roles. Isn't motherhood the most important role that you're going to play in your entire life? How and which point did we think the career role is greater than the role of a mother? I don't know when we landed up making this massive mistake, but I feel it's a huge mistake. A huge mistake that the man has created, where he's expecting the woman to have a identity beyond her motherhood. And I think a big mistake that as society, we as women have decided to not be able to understand that our identity does not need to come from a purpose. It can actually just come from the roles that we play. And when you start to identify with the roles that you play, and each role is beautiful, that is a far more fulfilling life, unless money is an issue. If money is an issue, we need the career role to be our number one for at least some time, till we can get ourselves the fuel of the car that is required, which means money for life. Correct? So your car won't move if it doesn't have fuel. Life doesn't move when you don't have money. But if you are a secure woman as far as money is concerned, thanks to your environment, your parents, your brother, your husband, your sister, your even female roles who are earning people around, the women that are earning money around you, if you are a secure woman as far as money is concerned, then why should your identity be built around your career, right? We think our purpose is it has to be a career oriented purpose or a contribution oriented purpose. No, I think every woman till her child at least turns 5, that 0 to 5, your youngest child, till the youngest child turns 5, your purpose of life should be raising the child. Because at about 5, 6 is when their brain stops doubling at the speed that it does, and they've already kind of created their what would I say, outer world and inner world harmony has already happened, which means they've already started to make sense of why and how this world works. Now it's just them building evidence on what they have already started to believe. So those first 5 years are so crucial, correct or no? So I'd love for you to build your identity on, when somebody asks you, what do you do? Say, my job or my life is just about being a fabulous mother to my child. And I think we need to put the mother back on the pedestal, because I don't think there is any role as fulfilling, as amazing as motherhood. And it's not even an easy role, right? It's sometimes harder than the work that we do. So I think we have to really re-examine this, because the world is now, Elon Musk says that eventually this world is going to actually die of underpopulation. What a sad way of the earth coming to an end, or the human race coming to an end, because women stopped having children. Why should a woman have a child? Like, what's the reason? She sacrifices the shape of her body. She sacrifices her hormones. She sacrifices her sleep. She sacrifices the money that she could have spent on herself. She sacrifices all the travel. She sacrifices. Can you see the level of compromise and sacrifice a woman has to make for her to be a mother? And so what is happening in the world is the woman is saying, I'm not stupid. Don't expect me to make that sacrifice if no one is going to appreciate it and they're going to call it just a mother. What am I? Oh, I'm just a housewife. I'm just a mother. I'm just. You're not just. We look at God's creations in mountains and rivers and trees and I don't know what not, and go into wonderment. And this woman has created a full life out of her body, and we are not in wonderment. What is wrong with us? So from today onwards, to all the young mothers in this room, please create your identity in being the most amazing mother for now. Okay, and eventually over time, keep learning. So keep learning and keep growing. Even if you're just learning to be a better mother, even if you're learning consistency through your motherhood, maybe you're learning how to be efficient through your motherhood, maybe you're learning how to be organized through your motherhood, maybe you're learning how to love more deeply through your motherhood. Use the motherhood as the platform for your personality to grow. Be the best mother you can be, and I can tell you that in itself will lead you towards your mission and your purpose. These are your 5 years of you truly. Don't take them as a break, take them as a builder. You can build yourself. I mean, every time a pregnant woman comes to me, I tell her, you to just join all my courses. In your pregnancy, I want to fill you up with all of the positivity, and by the time your child is 2, 3, 4 years old, because you will have a coaching personality, you will have so much wisdom, you would have awakened that goddess that lives within you, and the kind of mother you will be and the kind of person you will be in this world. Then when your child starts to go to school and you have enough time, you can monetize all that you would have learned in those 5 years. So I'm going to recommend to every single one of you, if your child hasn't turned 5, your role is of motherhood. Fair enough? Oh, thank you. Love the way your look is today, Puja. Yeah, I've been wearing a lot of Indian clothes, and I love Indian clothes any which ways, and I love flowery prints. So this is my fabulous dupatta, if you can see, with these big roses on it, and it's really like, I just love nature prints. Okay, let's go right to the bottom. Ooh, we're already at 10:41. Okay. I may need to run a little earlier today. Let's take one more question before I go off. Okay, what do we have here? Smriti saying, hi ma'am, I'm dating a guy who's short-tempered and I'm trying to change him, but I'm confused whether to be with him or not, cause family has religion and money issues with him. Can't decide. Please help. Smriti, whoever you marry will have some flaw or the other. This one is short temper. You have to see, can you tolerate short temper? If you couldn't change him for the rest of your life and you had to accept him for who he is, could you live with this guy? If the answer is no, don't even try marrying him, is my suggestion. Please, in advance. See, all of us have flaws, right? So it's not about which flaw is good and which flaw is bad. It is about who can absorb which flaw. So if my man can absorb my flaws and I can absorb his flaws, then we are in a great marriage. But some of the flaws can be a non-negotiable for someone. For me, If someone has a bad temper and they're shouting at me, I'll start crying because I can't take it. Because I can't take it, I can't be with a man who has short temper. I need a man who has the patience to handle me, right? So it won't work for me. But I know someone else whose fuse will go off. Both are short tempered. एक दूसरे के ऊपर निकाल दो pressure cooker की सीटी, and it's fine, right? So it's not about the flaw. It is about, are you able to absorb it? How does it make you feel? Are you able to handle it? Okay. Some people, instead of putting fuel to the fire, they put water to the fire, and they know exactly how to handle a short-tempered man. They will be looking at him saying, "थोड़ी देर चिल्लाएगा फिर ठीक हो जाएगा." It doesn't go to heart. They don't take it personally. If you are that kind of woman, what a lovely man for you. If you are not that kind of woman where you're like, you know what, तुम थोड़ी देर चिल्लाओ या एक बार ही चिल्लाओ या this thing, मेरे को ये पसंद ही नहीं है. I'm not able to love you or respect you for the person you are because I'm not able to take this personality trait. Then this person is not right for you. Okay. Now, as far as religion and money issues with him, can't decide, please help. You know, I'm a big believer that there's going to be a new way of getting married, and the new way of getting married is going to be the love arrange. What does that mean? Or arranged love. So earlier on, it used to be arranged marriages where the parents saw everything but the chemistry. Then they turned into be love marriages where you only saw chemistry and nothing else. But now I think we have to see both. So we need to look at love and the arrangement. Both is very, very important. Okay. Because when love disappears, will the arrangement be good enough for you to last in the marriage is a beautiful question to ask yourself. And we all know that love has a shelf life, which means if love within a year or two does not turn into liking the person, respecting the person, then because love will eventually disappear. And when I say love will disappear, I'm only referring to romantic love. Mature love will actually appear if the arrangement plan was a good plan. Okay. So in arrangement, you don't sometimes fall in love. You can straight go to respect and mature love, which is, I don't need to feel that extra desirous of you, but I can have a lot of respect for you, and therefore we can create a life where we can fall in love with each other over time, which will not look romantic at all, but it will be one of the most practical, beautiful, amazing ways. Now, God did not need us to be practical because He needed evolution to happen. He needed the reproduction to happen. So He removed the practicality and put in us deep desire of the opposite gender, correct? Extreme attraction in the beginning. Once the job got done, he left that extreme attraction. So I want you to ask yourself, when my extreme attraction is over, is this man going to be still worth it? If he's going to be worth it, please marry him, no problem. If he's not going to be worth it, it's not got to do with religion or with money. All of those can be dealt with. It's got to do with, do you like the person in front of you? Is he worth the, is he going to be the person with who he is going to be the watcher of your life, and you are going to be the watcher of his life? Do you both want to grow together into watching each other's lives unfold and blossom? That's how I want you to start to look at marriage. And I think we need a new term now where every girl from a very young age should be trained to see both aspects. The chemistry of love, and once that is there, okay, you need a little bit of that in the beginning. If you don't have that, though, it can be a disaster. And then the arrangement of love. And when both are in place is when we should marry. And again, no one can decide this for you because only you know what is okay and what is not okay. Okay, for somebody, religion is very important. Yesterday, I was asking a friend of mine and she said, for me, the only condition was that he should be vegetarian. And the other friend who was like from a vegetarian family said, for me, the only condition was that he should be a non-vegetarian. So each one knew exactly what they were looking for in their partner. They knew, like the vegetarian friend said, I'm done being vegetarian. I'm from a household of vegetarianism. I want to eat non-veg. The other one was like, whoo, for me, that is just absolutely wrong. Like I could have never married a man who's vegetarian, right? So again, it's not what it is. It's not money. For someone, if I have to marry, I'm not going to look at money because I can earn my own money. Money is the easy part. I'm going to look for how much can he love me. That's my need, right? So you make a list of all the things. These are absolute musts. These are nice to haves. And then check, is this guy your current boyfriend or the guy you're dating right now, is he got all the absolute musts, and how many nice to haves does he have? And can I tell you, then when you operate from that energy, it's far better, because eventually you'll be in so much better a marriage, है ना? Sushmita Saha, ma'am, I am too grateful to my workplace and I don't feel like changing it when I know that my income won't raise if I be in the same place. Sushmita, and that's always the kashmakash, as we call it, of life, right? That should I go with the workplace or should I go with the income? Now, it all depends at different points in your life. Sometimes we are looking for security and stability. Sometimes we are looking for growth and adventure. Now, whenever in life we are looking for security, stability, it all depends on where in life are you. Correct? So if I need security and stability, I would continue in this workplace, because whatever it is, at least it's secure. I feel happy doing this work. I enjoy the people who are at work, all of that. I'm going to give that priority. But there will come a time in your life where you decide to buy a new house and you need to start to pay EMIs for that, or you have a child and the cost of your life turns into double the amount of the money you need. Then you will not have a choice. You will have to move on to growing your income. So it's all about the need of your life, and accordingly you making your decisions. Okay. Now, if you had to ask me to choose, I would rather you be happy with 80% income than be unhappy with 100% or better income, right? So right now where you are, it is amazing if you have to ask me. However, at some point in life, you may want to choose growth over stability. So it's a what would I say, like an ECG line, okay? You're supposed to live life like this. Too long of stability and security, everything will just start getting boring. Even right now, all the fondness that you have, it will just turn into boredom, okay? Too much adventure, after a while, too much risk taking brings in a lot of stress. So you don't want to be bored, you don't want to be stressed, you want to be somewhere in the middle. So you will need to keep on going, bored and then stressed, and bored and then stressed and bored. And that makes the most beautiful life. I love it. Some of you are like, don't go, Sushmita, for the raise and all. Again, there's no right answer, which is such an important thing for you all to understand, that there is no right answer. There is a right answer for you. And how will you know the right answer? The more you reflect within, the better your right answers will come out. You have to know for yourself what's the right answer. And can I tell you, at different times, our own answers change. So for that period of time, this was the right answer. The next year, same situation, the answer has changed. So that means there's no concept called right answers. The only answer is the one that works for you at that point, because of what is your situation in your life. है ना? Lovely. Superb. All right. Let's get our photos done. I am going to have to run. I have a class that I'm taking on inner beauty, outer beauty in half an hour. So I need to go for that. But thank you so much everyone for coming. Very, very happy Diwali. I'm going to try to tune in next Wednesday. But because my house is going to be full of all my relatives, my parents are coming from Delhi, my children are coming from London. It's going to be a house full. I do not think I'm going to give it an hour. So maybe for 30 minutes, we'll do a quick one. Give me a heart in the chat box if... Come on, give me a heart in the chat box. Yeah, I have a heart in my hand also. Give me a heart in the chat box if you're okay with me doing a 30 minutes next week rather than a full 1 hour. Yes? Can. Oh, so sweet of all of you. Thank you. May I get the link for that session? No, it's a private session being hosted by my beautiful relative Manisha. If you don't know her, please follow her on... Sea Soul is the name of her company. Oh, so sweet, Chia. Your words find me. Wow, that's such a beautiful thing. Your words find me. Happy Diwali, happy Diwali, happy Diwali. Love you all. See you for 30 minutes next week. Continue being awesome this week. Set yourself some sort of a challenge. Rather, I'm going to suggest you every Sunday for the next 70 days before the year comes to an end. I'd love for you to look at that this Monday to this Saturday, this Monday to this Saturday, I'm going to try this and I'm going to try this and I'm going to try this. I want you to call it what we call the exploring week. Exploring is when you want to start to make up your mind what kind of goals and routines and rituals you want to set for 2025, which is now around the corner. And you start to experiment with that goal to see how strongly do you want to bring it into your life. For example, let's say some of you are waking up at 7 o'clock and you'd love to start to wake up a little earlier. Can you try 6:30 this week? Can you try 6 o'clock next week? Can you start to look at, okay, where does my life look like? What kind of an evening routine do I need to have for me to be able to wake up at 6 o'clock the next day? If you can explore and make all the possible mistakes around the goals that you want to set for 2025 in the next 70 days, so that when you actually set the goal, it's not out of this desire to change yourself and fix yourself and get up one day and say from today onwards, either I'm the perfect Puja or I'm not Puja at all. That's what a lot of us do with our goals. Either it is that we want to live the perfect life or we don't want to live the goals at all, that whenever, and then we start delaying it next Monday, next Monday, next Monday. So instead of that, I would love for every single one of you here to start to focus on, you know what, I'm going to take a goal and I'm going to explore it from every possible angle and see what works, what doesn't work. I'll give you an example. So for 3 years in a row, I had left alcohol when I started to do this work because I do not like to drink and work I don't like to mix the two. So when I travel, when I'm on a holiday, I will drink, but in Chennai, I won't drink. 2-3 years ago, when I had done this, so Diwali month came and I was like, you know what, every night we would be having so much fun and I wouldn't be able to have a glass of wine with my spouse or with my family because I had said no alcohol rule. So I changed my whole year, I will not drink, but in the month of Diwali, I drink in Chennai. So what is this I have done? I have created instead of saying, oh, I'm never going to leave drinking again because I can't connect with my family because all of us love enjoying a glass of wine in the evening. Instead of doing that, or instead of saying, I'm never going to touch alcohol again, and I'm not promoting alcohol, I'm just giving you an example of what I do. So, you know, what I'm doing here is I am suiting myself. Now, a lot of people make a lot of fun of me. Ke, oh, Puja, how convenient your goals are. And why not? Is my question. At which point have we told ourselves that our goals should annoy and irritate us and not grow us? I'm still not drinking from January to October, so that's 10 months. Is that not enough for me to prove that I have enough willpower to myself? Of course it is, right? So people will say all kinds of things because they like to follow the religious way of gaining your willpower. I have a very personal way of gaining my willpower where every month I will leave something for me to know that I'm on top of my willpower. 1 month will be sugar. 1 month will be, you know, just like these could be, it doesn't even have to be things that you eat or you drink or you consume. It could just be social media. It could just be, you know, it could be all of the things, anything. So I'll re-examine in that month that what is it that I can leave next month for me to be able to say that, okay, this month's addictions are next month's give-ups. How many of you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, this month's addiction. So let's say this month I've got addicted to a game I've been playing on my phone. So I'm not working this month. So there's a particular game. I'm really enjoying it and I'm really good at it. And I know on the 1st of November, right after Diwali, I'm going to delete that app from my phone because I don't want to waste time on that particular app. Anything beyond. Right now I'm taking a break. In my break, the game is a lot of fun. Yes, you got it? Fabulous. So tell me in the chat box this week, what is it that you'd love to do differently? Is there anything you'd love to do differently? Okay, maybe you can just decide that every single person I meet, I will make them feel love and importance. And see, what can you do to make other people feel love and important this whole week? Something is, this week I'm just going to be kind. Or this week I'm just going to be super consistent and disciplined. Or this week I'm going to be, just see how you want to take your life and start to become a designer of your life by remaining an explorer of your life. Yes? Love it. On that note, I'm going to run, but love you all so much. Very, very happy Diwali. I will see you next week for about 30 minutes. We'll do a quick Insta live session so that I can answer at least a few questions and wish you guys once again before we go into the heavy week of festivities. Love you all. Bye. Ciao.